It's about drive, it's about power.
It's about power. We stay hungry, we stay devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.
What's ours? The morning is train.
What's my motherfucking name? Rock.
Rock! Hi, everybody.
And you smell
Oh, no!
what the rock is cooking.
Oh, no. Hi, guys. We're back.
It's us.
It's us again. Hi.
We're doing that thing again.
Oh, we should probably talk about how we have new models, huh?
No, I'm just kidding.
What? No, I don't want to talk about it, actually.
They can look at it.
Figure it out. What are you looking at?
What are you looking at?
I guess there's not much to talk about. I just felt the need to point it out.
Yeah, we got upgrades after Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, how long ago did we start the podcast? Our art styles have... I mean, yours looks the same. Mine, definitely... What?
No, I'm just kidding.
It's not a dig. It's not a dig. I promise it's not a dig.
You've grown a lot, yeah.
I feel like Dude, no joke. Nothing makes you improve as quickly as making a comic. Straight up. I have improved so much. I mean, I think I have. I think it looks so much better.
I think you've grown a lot, yeah.
It's got more personality in it.
Mine just has black line art. That's the
Oh yeah, that's the new upgrade that you made.
That's the T. I honestly just traced the face off of the Joker one.
Dude, that's valid. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I just kind of like made the Joker one into just a regular one, and yeah.
Well,
that's the T.
I got a hair upgrade. I guess I'll talk about my hair journey. I was trying to grow it out.
And then I dyed my hair.
And then I dyed my hair because I was bored. And now I am an alien. You're welcome.
Well, I dyed my hair orange and black.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then she was like, yeah.
I was like foaming at the mouth.
Foaming at the mouth.
You
throwing
were like,
yourself across the table.
I'm retying my hair, and I'm like, I hate you. I'm trying to grow out my hair here. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do it. And now
we're here.
Now I am a little, I don't know, an alien demon.
I am the same. I just now have faded orange and blue hair because my hair is faded into a blue, not a black.
It was black for like
10 minutes.
Weeks. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like that. I mean,
so I'm probably just gonna re-dye it with a blue.
That's cute. That's cute.
No,
it's not all that different than your original blue and red. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, but now I'm literally the opposite of you.
Oh, true.
Because you're the combination of purple and green, and I'm blue and orange.
It's complementary.
Hell yeah.
Complementary color palettes. I will have to update all of our other assets too.
So much fun. I gotta make you full new assets. I just have to recolor my hair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I can probably just edit the line art, to be honest. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, just screw with it a little bit, you know? You don't have to do too much. We're not trying to we're not
a high budget out here.
Yeah, we're a no budget. There's no budget going on
here. We're a
nobody,
no budget podcast, okay?
True. Okay. What else was we? Oh, you were gonna tell me.
I have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of stories today because this podcast was a bit finagled.
Yeah. Oh, we should say next week for the Wednesday episode for the Webtoon Wednesdays. We're gonna do character designs for our straight camp.
Yeah, comic. We're gonna finally get into the straight camp designs.
Hell yeah! But for this episode, we're just shooting the shit basically. So
yeah,
I don't have any new things to report, so I'm just handing the reins over to you, Bengo.
I have a lot of random shit that I can talk about. What was it? Was the Timmy story, right?
Yes.
So
I don't even know what a Timmy's is.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna start with this. I'm Canadian, So, like the first thing is that Tim Hortons is like a staple out here, right?
I don't know what that is either.
You don't like Tim Hortons? You don't know what Tim Hortons is?
No.
Well, it's sort of like your guys' Dunkin' Donuts, but here. Do you know what Dunkin' Donuts is?
Yes, I know what Dunkin' Donuts is.
Your silence was not very convincing.
Sorry, I've never eaten.
I felt a buffering noise.
I was thinking.
I could feel it.
I know what Dunkin' Donuts is. I have not had it though, which I feel like a lot of people in America would hate me for that because I feel like that's an iconic staple. But no, I've never had.
Well, Timmy's is like that, but with a lot more maple leafs on it.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And with like a more red tone.
Canada.
Canada, yeah. But Tim Hortons has this running thing because we're also Canadian, so hockey, we do a limited edition Tim Hortons hockey cards out here.
Right.
It usually lines up as competition sometimes to the Monopoly, like coast to coast Monopoly, McDonald's Monopoly, you know that?
Yes, I do know that.
Okay.
I do know that.
Good. It gets really fucking spicy up here. I'm just coast to coast is a nightmare up here.
Rip.
It gets competitive. People go crazy for that.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes when it comes to a big sum of money.
Oh yeah. But the hockey cards are really important to my dad because he just collects them and sells them on eBay regularly. So each year when this picks up every single time, he gets really excited. He starts, buying more fucking hockey cards when we go to Tim Hortons, or is like, hey, could we stop at Timmy's instead of stopping at McDonald's? And I'm like, yeah. So the biggest appeal of the Tim Hortons hockey cards though is that it's $1 if you buy a beverage with them. So every purchase of a beverage, you can get $1 pack of hockey cards. Regularly, they're $2.
I just imagine people buying a bunch of drinks to get that dollar deal.
He does.
Oh no!
Well, like every morning coffee, he buys a pack of hockey cards. Every coffee he gets throughout the day, it's a pack of hockey cards, or 4. But
my lord.
He's not super bad. Okay, it just gets crazy because it's like a very limited. It's usually really limited. They don't usually restock the original stock they get, so it's really short. So we already did a run this first round, and then we're going to Timmy's for another round after we were doing driving practice, me and my sister and my dad. And we show up, we're all standing there, my dad takes a piss and then comes back, and he's like, I'm gonna get a coffee. And I'm like, okay, I don't really want a coffee, I'm fine. And he's like, okay. And we get to the poor cashier, and my dad's like, I'm gonna get a coffee, and then I'm gonna get a pack of hockey cards. And then the thing comes up, and it's not $1. The coupon has not been scanned. So my dad already locates the problem.
Oh no, this is bad.
And he goes, they're $1. And he's like, the dude's like, what? And my dad's like, they're $1 with every beverage. So fix that. And then the guy's like, no. And I was like, don't say that to my dad. It's like, don't say that to my dad.
This is a bad situation. We're going into Karen territory already.
I was like, don't say that to my dad, please. I mean, like immediately in my brain, I was like, this isn't good. This is not good. And then the guy goes, no, that's not real. And then my dad's like, look at the sign. And he points above the man's head to a giant sign that says $1 hockey card. And then the dude's like, well, I don't know how to do it, so no, you're not getting the promotion. And then my dad's like, get your manager.
Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
know what?
Oh no.
That is understandable. If the kid was really like, I don't get it, so you're not getting it.
He dead ass. I'm not defending this kid because this kid deserved what was coming, which was like Hurricane Dad.
Oh no!
Hockey cards, because he's just like, no, I'm getting my deal. I'm not paying an extra $1 for these hockey cards. And you're not going to try and trick me into paying an extra $1 because you don't know how to do this.
So
And
what happens when the manager comes?
so the manager comes, she immediately punches in the fucking coupon easily, bops it in, walks away. She's like, "All right, here, have a good day, goodbye."
Oh yeah.
And then the kid just looks so defeated, and
Yeah,
he's like, "Is that
rightfully
all?"
so.
And my
Oh
dad's
my
like,
god.
"Yeah, it is." And then like, and the dude has to like regretfully hand my dad the hockey cards.
What a little shit. I swear people I mean, at least he was honest though. I have to
Yeah,
give props to the kid. At least he was honest. He's like, "I don't know how to do it, so you're not getting it." And your dad was like, "Are you
no,
insane? What's wrong with
yeah.
you?" Which I
And
mean,
then there's a part 2 to this
oh no.
where I had wanted a coffee. I wanted to get my mom a coffee because we just wrapped up practice, and I felt like it was only fair because we just drank a bunch of coffee without getting her one. So I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go into Timmy's and get a coffee." And he's like, "You get me that pack of hockey cards then." And I was like, "I will." And then he's like, "You're not paying an extra $1." And I
Oh
was like,
my
"What?"
god.
And he's like, "If they don't take that percentage off, you're not paying an extra. You're telling them that there's something wrong." And I'm like,
He knows
"Okay."
he knows that you wouldn't fight
Yeah,
that
he
fight.
knows I would fold. He knows on sight I would fold because I have folded.
Listen, I would do the
There's
same
cheese on my
thing.
burger. I scrape the cheese off with a butter knife, okay? I'm like, "Well,
Doesn't like
shit
hold
happens."
on. Wait.
I don't like
Where
cheese
do
on my
you want
burger.
uh, what?
Mhm.
Why?
I get it from my dad.
On any burger? Not just McDonald's, on any burger?
Yeah, I don't like cheese on my burgers. I usually
I
put
am
it
in
up I usually
shock.
put up with it when it's a Big Mac, but if it's between, like, a quarter pounder with cheese and a quarter pounder without cheese, I'm getting a quarter pounder without cheese.
That stresses me out. Alright, continue with your story of you folding.
So I usually I fold. I fold a lot. If my order's wrong, I won't tell them. There was a time where I was in McDonald's and I got the wrong burger, like fully the wrong burger, and I sat there with the wrong burger, and I was like, I mean, I could eat it, like I
Yeah,
guess I could eat it. And then this lady comes running to me with my burger, like, "I'm so sorry," and I'm like, I didn't know what to do with it, so I was just kind of sitting here with it.
listen, I am also someone who does not like to fight with people who are, like, just doing their
And
job and doing
yeah, I
maybe
feel
doing a bad
bad.
job, but I just can't bring myself to, like, be upset if something is a little off.
Yeah, I
I just
always feel bad, like, I'm like, "I'm so sorry," like, there was
exactly. I feel guilt if I have to say something, so I decide I will just live with the pain that I'm in.
yeah, there was a machine broken at McDonald's, and this poor girl I go to McDonald's a lot, I know it's bad, but there was a machine broken when I showed up at, like, one of the
The
kiosks, and I was like,
machine,
"Oh, it's
it's
broken."
broken. Sorry.
We got brain rot. But I was like, "I'm really sorry," because just before that, a lady ripped into her about her order, and then also their bathroom was broken. And I'm like, I hate to be the bearer of more bad news, but
Yeah.
your kiosk is broken, and I don't want someone to yell at you over it. And she's like, "Thank you." It's like, "Thank you." But back
Oh.
back to the Timmies, my dad was like, "You're not folding." And then my sister was like, "I'm going with him so he doesn't fold."
Oh my god, you've got a team of, like,
Yeah.
Karens. Your
I
sister's like, "I got this, dad. I'll make sure he
I'm
gets
on
it
your
right."
team. Yeah, no,
You're just like, "Why?
I'm like, let
Why?"
me fold. I don't wanna be here." So I get in there and I'm like, "Hey, can I have, the order, like a double double with a shot of caramel?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course." And I was like, "Can I have a pack of hockey cards?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I look down
And they got it
and
wrong.
she didn't put the coupon on.
Of course she didn't.
And I lean
And then
over and I'm like, "Can you is there a coupon for that?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, there is. I was just about to put it in." I was like, "Okay."
Oh, thank God.
I was free.
You didn't have to fight for it.
I was so scared.
You did a gentle reminder.
I was so scared.
What did your sister, like, look over your shoulder,
My sister was right there.
like, "You better get this right the first time." You're just like,
Yeah,
"Please, I just wanted to get
we
a
get in, and
freaking
I was like, "I
copy."
got it, and I got the promotion. It's fine." And then he was like, "Good."
The reason why we're talking about this is because prior to the pod, I started talking about you getting your wisdom teeth removed, and
Mhm.
I've got dibs on those teeth, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I
you're
want
dibs after my mom.
right. I
You're
technically
in
have second
line.
picking. I'm in line. I'm second in line, and your mom is first in line for getting your wisdom teeth.
Mhm.
But we were just talking about how if they tell him he can't get his wisdom teeth back, just say you want him for religious reasons because
But I'm a terrible person for just folding.
don't fold, damn it.
I
You
won't
want those teeth.
fold.
Those are your bones. You made those bones. They're
I won't
yours.
fold. I've done the practice. The fucking 2021 Tim Hortons hockey cards.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, you got this. I better get a tooth or I'll be very upset.
You want
This is a threat, Bengo. Don't you dare
I
fold.
know. I'll try not to. I won't fold. It'll happen. 3 more days. You'll see the first tooth. It won't be yours.
Damn it. I
I
want
know.
those teeth so
I
bad.
might give you this one though. It has a cavity in it, so
Ew! I'll still take it though. Who
yeah,
am
that's
I
what I
kidding?
fucking thought. I'm also
Beggars
bringing my
can't be
baby tooth
choosers.
over.
Yeah, but I'm not taking that one. I'm just looking at that one.
True. Good point.
I mean, unless you want to give it to me, I'll
I
take it.
mean, if it's that, I might.
Don't give me your baby tooth. That's
You don't
important.
want it? I'll wash it.
I mean, I don't care if it's not washed or not, you know?
Oh, fair enough. I'll at least bring it for the aesthetic. I'll bring it for the vibes.
Yeah, I
I'll show
mean,
it off. Look, it's my baby
I
tooth.
I'll definitely take a peek at it. I like teeth.
Oh
I like
no, I'm
bones.
gonna be that. I'm literally gonna be that crazy kid character that's like, look at my teeth.
No, I'm
You
the
know, on
crazy
TV
kid
shows.
character. I'm that character, and you're the one who I forced to bring it along.
That's true.
You're the kid that folds to the freaking weird character. That's what's happening here.
That's true. I do fold.
I collect my niece's teeth. I think I
You
have
collect
3 of
them.
them.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it
pay
would
her
be
for them.
so easy because you can just say that you pretty much just the tooth fairy.
Well, I literally told them. I told my nieces and my nephew, if you give me your teeth that fall out of your head, I'll give you a $10 for each tooth. And they were like,
That's
10
so much
bucks.
better than the tooth fairy.
$10. I'm like, yeah, I'm what can I say? I'll give you money for your teeth. I'm teaching them to sell their appendages at a very young
At a
age.
better price. Don't sell yourself short.
Don't let the tooth fairy steal your teeth.
Don't
Let
let
your
a black
aunt
market person sell your kidney for only 30,000.
get 100,000 for that shit. Come on.
Come on. You know your worth.
You know your worth, kids. Sell those kidneys for more than they are actually worth. So that's where we're at. I want those
Yeah.
teeth though.
I'll hope to God that you'll get one.
I just want one.
I think I'm getting one taken out this month and then another one getting taken out in December.
Why don't they just take them out at the same time?
It's being spread out because I can only pay for so much.
Okay, it's money reasons. Got it.
Money, and also I have a fear of the dentist. So it's a little
That
bit easier for me to get. It's my first time getting a tooth taken out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never had a
Big.
tooth taken out.
I've had root canals. I've literally had oh my god. Sorry guys, trigger warning. I'm going to talk about tooth surgery. I had I already talked about this a million times with you, but I had
Mm.
braces because my teeth were jacked, like super jacked.
Jack
So,
Squad.
I had to have a surgery where they uncovered a tooth that was stuck in my gum. My adult tooth never dropped. I had a baby
So much
tooth
fun.
that was stuck in my like it was a canine baby tooth that just would not drop. So they had to surgically take the tooth that was fully formed in my gum, uncover it, put a metal chain on it. This is not an exaggeration. And then they slowly over time pulled it down
I hate this.
and pulled it into place. And now I'll show you in person, but I have like you can tell this tooth is jacked because it's my canine and my other canine is like small, but this canine is like fat. You can see how big the tooth is. I don't know. I love
Jeez.
it. It's my favorite tooth. I love it so much. Is the tooth that I had to pull out of my gum slowly over time with a metal
Oh
chain.
my god.
It sounds metal, but it was literally just me being like a kid with braces, you know?
Yeah. The
Where
life
why
of a kid with braces.
why oh, so yes, I've had lots of tooth surgeries. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I've only gotten fillings, and I had one surgery, like one thing where I was put down to sleep, not death. But um it was just it was just crowns, and I threw up like a lot after that. I don't do
Really?
well with anesthesia.
Damn, I mean, I've never gone under, I don't think, because I'm really paranoid about it. When I got that surgery, I had the option to go under, but I was like, I am not going under. I'm terrified of not waking up. So I
I've kind of accepted that concept because I'm like, it's either I don't get surgery, like top surgery, or I
True.
do, and I went with do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Totally. That's a big surgery, but like for a tooth, I was like, I got this. Just drug me up. I'm gonna
Mhm.
be awake. And it was great. I literally was listening to music the whole time while they were like doing surgery where they were cutting my gums open. And
Oh my god, please do not. Not with 3 days on the line over here.
and it was great. I was vibing. And then
The only thing I've
I
heard since since this scheduling is like you're gonna be fine, and I'm like I don't feel fine.
they prescribed hydrocodone to me and I almost developed a massive addiction to the hydrocodone
That's
because
fun.
of it. But luckily, my mom was like, she realized that I was taking it after my pain had subsided. She was able to notice. She was like, my kid's getting addicted to this shit. She's like, give it to me. I was like, but she's like,
Give it
no.
to me.
I, yeah, it was I have an addictive personality, so I'm glad that
I
that
do
was taken away from
too.
me.
I had a day where I was like, "Hey, Ma," and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Take these Tic Tacs from me." And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Cause I'm gonna
Tic
about to
Tacs?
eat the whole fucking box of these."
Oh, true, yeah. No self-control.
Nope, not a
I
single
feel
piece of it.
you. Same. But that applies to, like, dangerous substances that I could get my hands on, so I have to be very careful with what I decide to consume because 'cause I'm very easily like, "Oh, this feels good. I'm gonna do it all the time."
Yeah,
Nothing
valid.
wrong with that.
Yeah, I just don't do like I just don't drink.
Yeah, well, I'm not a fan of drinking either. I'll
Well,
say
there's like a
that.
history of alcoholism in my family.
Mine too.
Um,
Yeah.
but I also just don't. I've never seen the appeal, and also I just know that I have a really addictive personality.
Have you tried drinking before? I feel like we've talked about this.
I had one.
Uh,
I had like one
one
drink. It was like a vodka slushy thing. I got
ah.
slightly tipsy, and I got angry that I was tipsy.
Oh, see, yeah, that's not good. If you're, like, pissed off about the feeling, then that's probably a bad idea.
I was pissed. I was like, I was both like really excited about the drag queen because she was really hot, and but then I was like, I'd start walking, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
Oh, yeah, the walking part too will remind you that you are not
Yeah,
sober.
because everything felt like I was watching, like it was like when you're watching a show and the TV is just slightly tilted, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking tilt off this fucking cliff if I don't fix this.
I think it's funny that that's, like, your experience with alcohol. I've, like, puked my guts out. I don't know, I've had my fair
Jesus
share of
Christ.
exposure to getting like, smashed,
Hmm.
and, yeah, I'm over it. I think once you do that if you're someone who's interested in it, once you've done that, it's like, eh. Unless you have
Yeah.
alcoholism running in your family, which I do, and you have addictive
Yeah.
personality, then you could definitely lean on it, but yeah.
I never saw the appeal in the first place. So it made me like not really want to drink. And so like whenever even teachers at my school were like, "You gonna be drinking on your 18th?" And I was like, "Nope." And they're like, "Oh." And I was like, "Yeah, I
You're a
don't
lame kid,
what?"
I'm just gonna say it.
I know.
Bengo's lame.
I know.
He's
I was
you're the
so lame. I was
you're
literally better friends with some of the teachers than I was with other
Oh,
students.
me too. Oh my god, me too. I think it's because hot take, I do not know this for sure. This is allegedly against myself, but I think it's because I'm not like I don't know, I'm neurodivergent in some way. I think I have ADHD or something. I
A
just
lot of
could
people
not
think I have the 80s of the DDs.
I also think you do. At least on a lower level, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause you can have it like on different it's a spectrum. But anyway,
Mental illness is a spectrum.
mental illness.
Mental illness.
My own illness. I definitely have something wrong because I could not like I was not vibing with the kids. I was vibing with the teachers. Always.
I had a lot going on though. I had like gender dysphoria, obviously. So
Fun stuff. Fun
it was
stuff.
the eventful fucking time of feeling like you're in the wrong body.
That's gonna get a bad vibes from me.
Yeah. So I'd often just like hang with the teachers and stuff.
I don't understand. Yeah, that I feel like us little queer kids all end up being like overwhelmed. Queer, neurodivergent, you know,
It
that
wasn't like I
meme?
was a teacher's pet, but like
No.
I would always just gravitate to talking to them. I knew all the tea.
Oh, true. Yo, that is like one of the upsides of being the kid that hangs out with all the teachers is
Teacher drama is hilarious.
Teacher drama is
Kai
so funny.
Kai especially knows teacher drama. Like you always were in touch with the teacher drama. But that's because he worked as a teacher.
Yes, it's like I legally can't talk about some of the things on the cast. I'll talk about them off stream, but
Yeah.
oh, it gets pretty crazy in the teacher life. The
It
drama, it
it
I
gets
was my
love
so
it.
it was my
petty.
favorite when they would like
They're all
talk
so
about
petty.
students. Yeah, they are petty.
I love it.
Because
I
they'd
live
like
for it.
update me on which student is being more annoying to them.
Oh yeah, they clock that stuff. They're like
Yeah,
they're
on
invested
site.
in kid drama because kid drama is funny too.
Yeah, there was a lot of kid drama in my school, obviously, because it was like my school was in
Teenagers.
the hood.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. So like kind of like some of the fighting was usually with like mace, knives,
Oh my
so
god.
or a gun.
Oh my
Um,
god.
yeah,
That's brutal. The fuck?
we had my last year there, we had like 2 or 3 lockdowns because it was like attacks on our school when it came to mace. Like mace was like the weapon of the year apparently for some reason, and then also the enemy school. I'm not gonna say any of the school names because that's a little bit too much
Don't do
information.
that. Yeah.
But the enemy school was like macing our school. Like anyone who was like, I'm a this kid, like anyone who would say that we were from our school, they would get maced by the
That
enemy
is
school.
really, really terrible. There was like
I
turf wars.
Yeah, I learned that because not even a turf war. I only learned that because apparently they were like attacking our 7-Eleven. Like they were coming to our 7-Eleven, which was literally like 5 steps away from our school and like macing us.
That is bad vibes. I had a chaotic high school experience. I guess we're just talking about high school stuff now.
Yeah, I guess
My
so.
chaotic high school experience of like I moved schools 3 or 4 times in high
Mm,
school. Uh because of many different reasons, like I'm not going to get into that, but at one of my schools because I've been to so many,
yeah.
there was a time where I had a anime club. Oh boy, we're going to get talking about the anime club.
Oh, no.
Here's the situation, okay? I'm club president because of course I am. I am also an idiot, right? This is important information. Me running a anime club while I'm like a teenager who's deep in depression and can barely even function. Trying to run a club. And we managed to score this like killer club room where it was like a room that wasn't being used. And in that room that wasn't really being used, there was another little room that was like the sewing room. It's where they kept all the sewing supplies that weren't getting used because we didn't have a sewing class anymore at our school. So we just straight up would go into that club room like constantly. And that room ended up being my safe haven when I would skip classes. Straight up, I would just skip my classes, all of them. And I would go hang out in the club room and be there 24/7. And the thing about that is there's usually an adult that watches over clubs, right?
Yeah.
But the adult that we had to watch over us was the art teacher, because of course it was.
Yeah.
And the art teacher, he had a classroom across from this classroom. So there's the classroom that I'm in that has an even smaller room in it, right? And then across the hall, which is like a couple steps, there's his room that he teaches in. He must have known that I was skipping classes because I would go to him constantly. I would show up and I'd be like, yeah, my teacher said I could leave my class. I left early. They said I could leave early. And I had no proof of this, but he was like, I imagine he's dealing with so many shit kids at this point that he's like, you know what? I like you. You're nice. You don't give me a headache. I'll let you do whatever you want. So he would just let me into the club room. So I would spend a lot of time just by myself in the club room.
Sick.
Here's the other situation though. This is a story that's gonna build up.
Ooh.
There were these senior kids that were like, they were all a bunch of ladies. And the thing about Hawaii is that, you know, there's ladies that are like big ladies who like to fight, okay? It's like a thing. And they usually run in packs. They usually have packs of like women who will literally tear you to shreds. They're looking for a fight. They're like
Hype.
they're scary.
It's true.
What they
It's
are
true.
very
It's
scary.
true.
Like butch women who are very scary to me.
You don't fucks with them.
No, you don't fucks with them because they'll mess you up. But
Good to
yeah,
know.
I had to learn that the hard way.
Oh,
So basically, here's the shitty part: is like I would be drawing in that club room, and that classroom that the club room is in. It's very complicated. I wish I could draw a diagram, but
it's too late for that. You gotta keep going.
that classroom had like a bunch of computers, and a lot of kids who would skip would sneak into that empty classroom to hang out there. And the kids that would do that were those butch, scary, the pack of women that would come in to skip their classes. And it was a weird, like, in between place of like all the weird anime kids go to hang out there and skip class, but so do the like butch women that want to fight people. And overall, we had a good relationship with that pack of women, right? We were like, they would come by while I was drawing and be like, "Whoa, that's so cool. I wish I could draw like that." Like, you know, superficially, we were on good terms. But one day,
No turf war.
no turf war. But one day, I was sitting in that little club room that's in the room that's empty. And I had the door shut.
Oh.
And I had it locked. Because I specifically asked my teacher if I could hang out in there. And he said, okay, that's fine. But lock the door behind you because people come in and out. And you'll be by yourself and I won't be able to watch you because I have a class. So just lock the door while you're in there. And I'm like, okay. Thank God he told me to do that. And I'm not even, like, unironically, I guess we'll get into it. So I am sitting in the club room, drawing, listening to music, chilling. And I hear that group saunter in. And there's like a window that you could see through into the classroom from the club room, but it was just that window, and that window was covered with like blinds, and then there was a little window on the door.
Oh.
And I was sitting there chilling, and I get a knock on the door, and I look over, and I see it's that group. And I don't unlock the door, and I just say, "Yo, what's up? What do you want?" And they're like, "We want to come in and hang out with. I just want to see what you're doing." And I got bad vibes. I was like, I'm gonna say no to that. I'm good. Like, you guys can.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
Come back next time.
I was like, just do that. Just hang out there. And I forget exactly what I said, but I basically was like, yeah, no, not happening. And they got pissed about that. They got so upset. I've never had a bad run-in with them before, but this was the moment where they were very angry that I said no to them. And I'm sitting there, and they're like,
no.
just let us in. And I'm like, no, I'm not letting you in. Yeah. And they start getting really angry, like hyped up. Ooh. All of them. And there's like, I always exaggerate this number, but I think there were like 6 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly because it's been a long time, but it was like 6 of them. They were starting to get hyped up. They're like, let us in. Why won't you let us in? You're such a bitch. And they would call me, I mean, obviously, because they're a bunch of local girls. They were like, let us in, Howley, which means white person, basically. There's a whole deep thing about that I'll get into another time.
For another day, yeah.
Yeah, I'll educate everyone on that next time. But they were basically like, white girl, get your ass out here so we can kick your fucking ass. And I'm like, I'm good, actually. So they start trying to kick the door down.
Oh, goody.
Like, straight up, were screaming at me. We're trying to kick the door down. They were pissed. They were going to kick my ass. And I knew that just because that's how they were. You could tell they were always looking for a fight. That was something that they did. And of course, they want to go for me by myself in a tiny room. I'm cornered. And all I did was say no to them. And it was all it took to set them off. So I was in there with them screaming at me and trying to bust in for I want to say like 15 minutes straight, which is long as fuck when someone's trying to threaten your life.
Yeah,
right?
That's like 15 hours. Finally,
the classroom, like next to it, hears the commotion, and they call the, what are they called? The guards or whatever. The guards. They call the security, and security comes in. Here's the shitty part. Security and those girls were friends because that's how it is. Because of course it is. They're friends. So security's like, come on, you guys are causing a commotion. Get out. Didn't ask me if I was okay. Didn't there was no acknowledging my security. Yeah, it was a big school. This is a school.
Well, we just had a police officer that was on site.
Oh, well, the US is really intense with their security too. It's like a prison. Being in school is like being in a prison.
We had one on-site
That's crazy.
cop. We just had one on-site cop who didn't. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then security is usually hired in school, and it's usually just a position that they hold. And then
yeah, and
then they hire people. They don't hire to Securitas, which is pretty common here, which is just a organization of.
No, they just hire on their own.
Yeah.
Which means
usually anything that would need security or would need anything like that is just through the police here.
Weird. I mean, shit goes down at school so often that I think they need to have people like that. Personally, I think it's a scare tactic. They would. I'll finish my story in a second, but they would literally. The security guards would be telling us we couldn't wear a hoodie without a zipper because it didn't show our school uniform. And I remember Like, no, it was like a prison. Being at that school was a prison. So I'm not surprised that fights would just break out because it was not cool how they treated their students there and still do, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
regardless, after the security guards come in, I'm literally sitting there and my teacher comes in and he checks on me. He's like, "I just saw that they left. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." No, I'm like, whatever. And then my friend walks in after her class and she's like, "Yo, I just overheard the group." She knew them. She was the kind of person that knew all those people, you know? I'm just a little weird kid that doesn't really know anyone. Unless you are also a weird weeb kid, but she knew all of, like, the butch, scary ladies because she fit in with them. And she's like, "I just overheard them saying they're gonna kick your ass after class." And I'm like, "Oh, shit." She's like, "We're gonna have to, like, run because they're outside." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" She's like, "No, I'm not joking." And sure enough, when it's time for school to get out, I get all my shit, put on my backpack. My friend is, like, all ready to go.
All ready to run?
We step out of the class, and then we step out into the hallway. And they are, no joke, waiting to
Lined
be
up?
they're literally, like, their classroom was only a couple steps away. They're in front of their classroom. They look at me, and they, like, point at me, and me and her go, "We gotta fucking run." So we run out the exit,
Oh, no.
the emergency exit, and fucking hightail it out of there.
Yeah, you gotta.
They were waiting for me. They were straight up gonna jump me in the fucking hallway. I was like, "I'm good. Like, I'm out." And then I never
Save
went to
that for
that
later.
school again. I just dropped out of that school. I was
Valid.
out of high school for, like, 2 months because I just dropped out of that school. I was like, "I'm not going there.
I'm not
They're gonna
getting
kill
jumped.
me.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill me." They were the kind of girls that were like, "You say no to us once, we will fuck your life up forever." And I'm a little baby that doesn't want to get my teeth busted in, so I ran.
That's valid.
I didn't have a whole crew behind me. It would have been me by myself versus, like, 6 of them. I'm good. I'm out. The odds were not in my favor there. Moral of the story, public schools in America are the worst thing ever, and I hate them.
I never had an experience where I was ever jumped. I was bullied a lot. But
Aw.
yeah, well,
I was the bully, if you can believe that.
I was the weird, quiet queer, so it made sense.
Yeah.
I was kind of bully material. Like I'd go down the hall and I'd get called slurs, but
Oh,
I was like
no!
one day I was just trying to go to the bathroom and I was constantly followed by somebody going like, "What is that? What is it?" Like over and over again until they finally kind of got tired of going like that because I didn't respond to them. So they were like, "Okay, well we're just gonna
No,
go back to class." I
I
was like,
never
"Okay, goodbye."
I well, I'm the kid that wore cat ears to school, so I guess I can't really say shit, but I wasn't really bullied for that. Like, I think people thought I was weird,
I
but for
was
the
in a
most part,
really big school though.
I've been in so many schools. I've been in small schools, and the small schools that I've gone to, I'm never bullied in the small schools. I'm always the bully in small schools. I end
Yeah,
up at the top of the food chain, and then I'm like, "You know what? I'm gonna rule this
I'm
place."
gonna exercise my power.
Yes, but in the big public schools that I've gone to, I have had bad experiences, and when I was in elementary school, I definitely got picked on, but at
Mm.
some point, people stopped messing with me, not excluding that one story I just told.
Excluding
Overall
the concept of dying in the hallway.
right, I definitely scared people off because I would, like, be very outwardly aggressive towards people if they were mean to me.
I never responded to it, so in the off occasions that I'd actually get it verbally attacked, I wasn't really like they never really continue because they get bored. So it'd be like those offhand like, you figgy, I'm not gonna say it, but um
Yeah, right. Slurs.
yeah, like the D slur and the
Oh my
F
god.
slur. Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
And then as soon as I started like, changing up my appearance, they never really clinged onto the T slur, but
Yeah, that's so messed up. I was undercover, I think, so no one knew I was gay in any way. Nobody
yeah.
nobody had any idea that I was a queer kid. I was very much. I think that's funny because I was always the weird anime girl, but all the dudes were weird with me. They were either like, "Oh, I want to date you," and I'd be like, "I'm so good on that," or they'd like, I don't know, just high school was a rough time.
Yeah, it got to the point where I used to do dance competitively,
Yes.
but it got to a point where when we were at a competition, a girl complimented me on my hair, and we got on the bus, and I was like, "Is there something in my hair?" And they're like, "No." Like, all my teammates are
Oh,
like, "No, there's nothing in your hair." And I was like, "'Cause a girl said that I had nice hair, and I thought something was wrong with it." And they're like, "She just
oh,
liked you how you looked." And they're like,
oh, that makes me so
and I was
sad.
like, "Oh, I was really insecure for a second there."
That got me fucked up. That I definitely did not have that experience. I'm very lucky to not have that experience
Yeah, you're
because that
better
sounds
off. You're better
awful.
off.
I feel like nobody would do that with me though because I would literally like verbally retaliate.
Yeah.
And if you
I
are a
just
kid
didn't.
that doesn't if you want to pick on someone who's weak, it's not going to be me. Like
Yeah.
unless there's 6 of you and I am terrified of you. In
Oh,
that case,
I was bully material. I was bully
yeah.
material. I had the Justin Bieber haircut. I was uncomfortable.
What do
I
you mean?
made people
Dude,
uncomfortable.
my middle school, the kids with a Bieber haircut, they were in. Like
I
the
was
girls
in middle
loved them.
school and I had a Bieber haircut and I was bullied.
Oh, you know why? It's you're younger than me. It had fallen
Yeah.
off by that point.
Yeah. I'm a couple years younger.
Yeah, it had fallen off at that point. When I was in middle school, that was the shit. Everybody had a Bieber haircut, and if you did have one, all the girls were into you. It was like a whole thing. Then again, I went to a middle school that was very small, so I have a very warped sense of
Yeah.
reality.
I had it was my first time ever being in a middle school and I was just transitioning. So middle school was a nightmare because that was like my transitional period and everyone was confused of where I was at. So that was a lot of like them learning and me learning and then them being ignorant and it was a lot.
Bruh, that's rough. I
I do
can
have
only
one
imagine
fun
how
story
rough
to
that
look.
is. Ooh,
Yeah,
tell it.
I
I'm
only have one
always
story that I found fun from like embarrassingly fun, which is the bathroom story that I was teasing. Um Basically it was elementary school and I needed to go to the bathroom and
Oh no.
it was the bathroom, the closest bathroom was the changing room in this school because it was kind of a small elementary school. Um, and so the change room was really close by and it had a bathroom in it. And I went in, and the fun thing about this bathroom was that all of us would hang off of the door. We'd swing around on the
Bruh,
door before we go to the bathroom or before we changed. So I wanted to take my turn. I wanted to have my fun. I wanted to
and you
join
booked
in.
yourself.
I fucking booked it. No, I booked it onto that thing. I swung hard and
Okay.
I fell with the door. So the door comes off and I'm in the bathroom.
Oh, that is a nightmare. That
I'm
is a nightmare.
terrified. I'm like, because I was a kiss ass. Also did not break a lot of rules as a kid. When I was on the thin ice board one time as a kid, I cried. So
Oh my god, I have an opposite experience. I was always getting into trouble, but
I was
continue.
always on thick ice. So I was always I was a really good kid. One of my favorite pictures as a kid was my kindergarten picture where I got like a medal for being the best student and it was picture day that day. So it was like immortalized that I was a good kid.
Oh my god, that's so cringe.
I know I was that
I would
kid.
have bullied you. I would
I
have
know
bullied
you would
you.
have. But we would have been friends. Like you would have bullied me, but we would have been friends because we were
It's
both
so
in the
true.
same group.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I would have probably
would've
said some transphobic shit too. Like,
Yeah.
that was a time when we were all just like evil little shits.
Oh my god. So I was like, yeah, I was a really good student, and I was now stuck with a broken bathroom door. And I was like, oh my god, they're gonna expel me. Like, I was like
They're gonna
panicking.
expel me
I
for
was like,
ripping the door off its hinge.
with my own body weight. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this right now. And like, so I don't go to the bathroom. First of all, I don't.
Right.
I'm like, I can't let anybody enter this fucking bathroom. Like, what do I do? So I'm looking. First of all, I start by looking around for cameras. Already a bad move. There's no
Oh my
cameras in the
god.
bathroom, dumbass, because that's illegal. So I exit the bathroom, like slyly, not slightly at all. I look very suspicious, and like I uncomfortably leave the bathroom. I look around, there's nobody around. I'm like, okay, I can make my escape. And so
Oh my. Did you
I
leave the door behind or did you bring it with
I
you?
I left the door up and left. I like leaned it against the like changing area. And like I was like, I can't do this right now, and I leave the door.
Oh, it was a hit and run. You hit it and you
Hit it and
ran.
ran. I did. It was a hit and run.
Okay, but
I was gone.
did you hear chatter about someone being like the door on the bathroom was broken?
No, actually, I like
Oh,
after
thank
that
God.
moment, it was over. Like it was just fixed.
So, moral of the story, do things that are bad and then don't tell anyone.
That's not the
Until,
moral
like,
of the story. Don't do what I just did.
rip doors off their hinges and then just leave. No one's gonna notice. It's fine. No one's gonna know it was
so
you.
like the worst part is it's like it's not that big of a problem. Like it was like, but the teachers probably would
You
have been
would have
like,
been.
"Don't,"
They
but
would
we're
have
gonna
been
fix the door.
exactly.
They would have been like, "Can you not swing on the door, maybe? Like that's the only thing we can tell you not to do. And then we're gonna fix this door because we're in elementary school and you're kids."
You panicked.
I panicked. I
You
straight up panicked,
panicked.
and I never told my mom until I was like 20 years old.
I don't remember like breaking anything like that, but that might be
Really?
because I would get into shit all the time, so it's all just a blur to me.
Mm.
I have so many stories of just like being a shit
I
to
broke a back window of a vehicle with a basketball.
oh, I broke my mom's windshield. And
Mm.
so this is a very short story. We were in the
Mm.
laundromat parking lot. I was sitting in the front seat. It was hot. It was like a hot summer day, and I
Oh
had my
no.
feet pressed against the windshield while I'm watching videos on YouTube. And I just hear a and I'm like,
Oh,
"What was that? What was that?" I
okay.
look
James.
James, I look and there is a giant
No.
crack from the bottom of the windshield to the top of the windshield.
Oh no.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm dead. This is it for me.
This is it.
My mom's gonna kill me. I am deceased.
I
I
had the
better
same emotions.
I better appreciate my life now because it's not gonna be here tomorrow. And so I remember it was like a good 30 minutes of me sitting in that car with that
Yeah.
windshield. I didn't go run to tell my mom. I just sat there and I waited because I knew that would be my only moment of peace before all hell broke loose. So I'm sitting there and my mom walks up and she gets in the car or she loads up the clean laundry, gets in the car. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Mom, I have to tell you something. And she hadn't seen it yet. She's like, okay,
Oh
what?
no.
I'm like, look, and I point at it. And she goes, how the fuck did you do that? How did you do that? And I'm
That's
like,
such a valid reaction.
I pressed my feet against the windshield, and you can see my foot marks on the windshield.
Shithead.
You know how
Shithead.
And my mom, I was in trouble. She was so
Yeah.
mad at me. I was in big trouble, but I deserved it.
I have a similar story, which is the basketball story of like the same feeling of just dread because I was
Like,
trying to.
you're dead. You're
I
dead.
threw it, yeah, and it just shattered. Like the back window was done. It was over. It fell, and I like looked in just pure dread of like, oh my god, I've never done this before except for the bathroom door. And like, cause it was loud too. Like it was not quiet about breaking. So my parents both came running out. I'm already in tears. I'm like,
Oh
I'm saying
no.
my fucking prayers. I'm like, it's been a great life. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was the worst spawn. Your first one. I fucked up. I know. You can try again with her. She's right here.
Your
My
sister.
Yeah. You could just retry. You could just cut me out. It's done for. I'm so sorry.
Oh
They're
no.
like, go into your room. I'm like, on it. I'm sorry. They're like, just go to your room. I'm like, I know. I'm on it. I'm sorry. And they
Oh my
cut.
god.
They come out. They're like, you did that with a basketball? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, huh, damn. And then there's and they're like, well, you fucked up. And I'm like, I know. And they're like, well, we got to get a new one now. And I'm like,
We
I
all
know.
have
I'm sorry. And they're like, just stop crying.
Bruh, I got in way more trouble. Like, my mom was like, how am I gonna pay for this? Look what you did. I told you not to press your feet against the windshield. There's a crack there, and now it's all your fault. I'm like,
My
damn. I'm
parents were
like,
like that too. They were like, well, how the fuck are we gonna pay for this? And
yeah,
then
it's always the pay for, like, you fucked up. You're like,
that's
we don't
how,
have money
yeah,
for
that
this.
was the thing that made me fucked up too. Because I was like, how the fuck are we
When
gonna pay
you,
for this?
exactly,
Oh
you
my
know
god.
your family is poor and you
Yeah.
fuck shit up. You're like,
I
oh
was like, we couldn't pay
no.
for gas yesterday. How are we gonna pay for this?
Bad
So
time.
thankfully, a little fun part of this story was the fact that this was right before our road trip to moving to where I live now, in the buttfuck of Canada, Alberta. Um, I will constantly do Alberta slander. You can't stop me. But basically, we the poor thing was barely, it was on its last legs, this vehicle, because while we were coming up here, the one of the windows just popped off in a McDonald's parking lot.
That
And
is awful. I'm covering my face. That seems like a nightmare to me.
it
Oh
was
my
like one of those mini windows though, like one of those that like you
I
push
know.
out.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. It
It just,
popped out.
yeah, we were like driving, and then all of a sudden we were just like thunk, and my mom was like, "What was that?" And I was like, "Oh, it was just one of our windows." And then on top of that, this vehicle, I think it was the driver's seat, or I could be remembering it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was the driver's seat that the door didn't open properly anymore. So we had to like crawl through the window
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I've been there. I've been there.
So on top of that, now having a broken windshield, door doesn't open properly, and the fucking window pops out. But our grandparents thankfully help pay for the back window. So
Oh man.
thank you, grandparents. And then
I don't
also the other piece of shit vehicle that barely made it up a hill when we were doing this road trip.
it'd be like that. We've had so many junkers in my family in terms
Mm,
of cars because living out in the boonies, and I mean the boonies, like the roads aren't
yeah.
paved. It's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Cops don't even like to come out there because they don't like to ruin their cars out there. It is the boonies. And I grew up there my whole life. So I'm a bush kid. I grew up in the bush for real.
Hmm.
So
I'm
our
a city
cars
kid.
can't relate. Can't relate. I'm absolutely
I'm a
feral.
city kid, but I grew up with a mom who's like a bush kid. She grew up in a small town in the
Yeah.
bush.
You'll be able to experience how like rural everything is when you come here, but most kids out here are bush kids, let's face it. We're all
Yeah.
like, especially the ones who live out where I lived. Um, basically, every car we had, the shocks would be gone. It would be torn the fuck up.
Oh, gotta love it.
Cars do not last where I live because of how rough the roads are, because nobody fucking paved the road, because it's all private property. And the
Mhm.
county won't pave it. Thanks a lot, the county. You're really fucking helpful. They don't even fill the potholes. I sound like an old grandpa talking about this, but
You do.
it's a real
God
problem.
damn those workers not giving me my fucking pavement.
God damn these fucking this
Get off my
county.
lawn.
I don't pay taxes for nothing. Where are my fucking paved roads, huh?
I don't pay taxes. Now pave my roads.
Pave my goddamn roads.
You don't pay taxes?
Don't talk about it. Shut up. Pave
This is
the roads.
why. This is why I don't pay my
This is
taxes.
why I don't pay taxes.
I really don't think you should be saying that to me. I am literally a government worker.
Does it look like I care?
I can call the IRS. I pay taxes.
You have no proof.
You
Freedom
got
of
no
speech.
proof. I got a gun.
We all have guns. What does that mean for me? Pave my road.
Yeah, dead ass. It is so rough out there. But the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I don't have a driver's license. I am 23. This is important.
I do.
Okay, I don't care that you do,
I'm
child.
proud of it.
I have a mental block when it comes to driving. I'm terrified of it.
I drove to Tim Hortons. Kind of crazy.
Wow. Are you really bringing up this? You're making this about you.
That's going on the sound bites.
You're making this about you. What about me, Bengo? I can't
Yeah.
drive. Okay?
I can't hear you. You don't have a license.
Shut up!
I have like the low level learners. I can barely fucking park.
I can back a truck into a windy, rocky driveway, but I cannot drive on the highway. That you see,
Interesting.
I have the ability to drive in the boonies because that's how I grew up, but I cannot, for the life of me, have the strength or a power to. I don't have the power to get
Yeah, I
on
get
those
that. That
roads.
sounds like my mom. No,
It's
oh my
not-
god.
I am not driving, and my power is not going into my drive because I literally don't drive. You know?
My mom is very similar. I get it because my mom, in the beginning, when we moved here, she was terrified of the highway
Dude,
because
the
it was just
Well,
terrifying.
Dude, the highways here are nothing compared to the highways where
Oh,
you
out
are.
here, you would shit your pants.
I couldn't do it. Like,
You would park in the merge lane.
I mean, even when we went to visit California, like 5 years ago.
That would probably be worse than here, though.
Yeah, dude, the highways in California are terrifying, and Californians are insane with how they drive.
Yeah.
I'm in shock. I mean, in Hawaii, the problem is that everyone is a slow driver, and like nobody knows how to fucking use the right lane properly. Like they don't know which lane is the faster lane.
Over
or just-
here, the fast lane is the right lane. It's very strange. But then
because people are stupid.
you'll see
Yeah.
fast lane, keep left, but
And
it's
then
just-
they don't.
Then they don't.
That's so nice of them.
Wait,
It's
I was
about
I was
drive.
going somewhere with the story, guys. Before you derailed me, I was gonna say, my grandpa had this vision. He wanted to help me get my first car, and we had been like shopping around for first cars. Mind you, all I had at the time was my learner's permit, and I was not practicing, and that was a problem. But he was like, "I'll buy you a car," right?
Mm-hmm.
But my grandpa likes to work on literal garbage. And what I mean by that is like finding a wrecked car without legal papers and making it work and repainting it. And that's like my grandpa's go-to. And with peace
Even
and love,
better.
I love that energy. I really do. But he decided that he was going to give me this beautiful Jeep, okay? But it was not beautiful at the start. It was this like old Jeep that wasn't driving properly. They had to re-weld the seats to the car. It had it had so much rust damage that when you got into it and started it up, rust would
seats?
fall from the top of the car. There would
That
be
sounds
rust in the air.
so safe.
Yeah. And so my grandpa, he's like, we'll paint it. It'll look so nice. It'll drive fine. I'm like,
Paint
okay,
saves
Grandpa.
everything.
Mind you, this is a stick shift. I don't know how to fucking drive stick shift. I can barely drive automatic. You think I'm gonna learn how to drive stick shift? No.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna definitely learn how to drive manual.
Yeah, bullshit. I'm gonna ride stick shift. Come on. So but I was willing to because I was like, I love the aesthetic of having this old Jeep. Like, I was buying into the fantasy of having this old Jeep be my first
You're
car.
like getting Stockholm syndrome with this vehicle. Maybe it's not that bad. It's like
Maybe it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Well,
Maybe
but-
it's not that bad.
They did a paint job on it, and it was so cute. It was this baby blue, and it
Oh
looked
my
like a
God.
toy car. It looked
Aw.
like a toy car, straight up. Like,
I want to paint my vehicle like the Mystery Machine when I get my own.
oh my god, that's so
Anyways,
cute.
continue. Yeah, that's what I want to do.
So they painted this beautiful baby blue. It's like it's looking sparkly on the outside, and it just looks so cute. I'm like, this is the perfect first car. It's so cute.
It's just a little bit of rust rain when you drive.
Then my grandpa's like, okay, let's drive it home. The drive home was horrific. Okay,
I can only
when I
imagine.
say horrific, I mean like terrifying. So this is what happens. Okay,
Mhm.
get in the car, and he's like, we're gonna drive it home. And the drive home is rocky, as I've said. It's literally a dirt road with rocks in it and potholes, and you have to like know if
Once
it rains.
again, this is a notice to the government. Please pave them damn roads.
Or just fill the potholes at least. Like, Jesus, the community has to fill the potholes themselves. It's ridiculous.
That's right.
Regardless, this I knew as soon as I got into it and as soon as my grandpa started it up and we pulled out that I wasn't gonna ever drive this truck. This
Oh, no.
Jeep. It wasn't a truck, it was a Jeep.
It was
I
a
just
Jeep.
knew. It was rattling. It
It was
was-
falling apart.
You could smell the exhaust in the car. It
That's
was
not
rattling.
good.
You could smell the exhaust, and there was literally particles of rust falling from the
Oh,
ceiling.
no.
I was like, Grandpa, something's wrong here, my guy. This is sus. And he's like, no, all Jeeps
Oh,
feel like
fine.
this.
No, they don't.
He
I'm
literally
currently learning in a Jeep.
He literally was like, all Jeeps feel like this. It's fine. And so we drive home. And I just remember going, Grandpa. And he looks at me and I'm like, I'm not going to drive that thing.
This is not going to be my vehicle.
I can't drive that
With
thing.
peace and love.
It stalled out at one point. And my grandpa knows how to drive stick shift. And he's like, oh, I'm just rusty. And I'm like, that's not just you being
just
rusty.
rusty. Yeah, just rusty. The vehicle.
The vehicle is rusty. You're
The
not
vehicle
rusty.
is rust.
So I'm like, you know what? I can't learn to drive that thing. I'm sorry. You just spent months working on it, but I can't. That's not happening.
With peace and love.
I
Grandpa.
tried to buy into the fantasy of using this as my first car, but it's not going to happen. And my grandpa didn't even argue with me. He was like, "Yeah, you're right. This is not safe."
Yeah, we can't just put a
Agreed with
cute-
me.
we can't put a cute baby blue over this hell.
No. So we sold it,
That's
but like
valid.
it was rough.
I have a fun Jeep story. This has just been us ping-ponging random stories down the line.
I think people will enjoy it. We're entertaining.
We are entertaining.
Okay,
Look at
I'm gonna get
us.
some water, but I'm listening. Keep talking.
Okay. So basically we have gone through many vehicles ourselves as well. And we had this Jeep, I think it was the Liberty, and we were getting dropped off at middle school and it was all normal. It was all just fine. Normal morning. We were just going to school, the same routine. And then all of a sudden it sounded like the gates of hell were opening up and we were like, what the hell is that noise? It was like this screeching noise, like a bat or something, like just like hard in the ear. And we were like, what was that?
What was that?
And we were like, it's us. Like we realized like
Oh
it's
no!
us. Like the Jeep is making that noise perpetually. It's not like just when we brake or like just when we accelerate. It's just
What
going.
did it sound like? Was it like clanging?
No, like just screech, like.
Thank
Like,
you for the demonstration.
You're welcome. And
It's
we
like,
yeah, pretty much. And so they're like, okay, well, get out. Like we stop like early, and
damn.
they're like, Kate, well, get out of the vehicle and go to school because we gotta go get a new one. And we're like, yeah, you do. Goodbye. So
Bruh.
we get out of the Jeep and we're like, this has been fun. And everyone at our school looks at us like we exited out of like hell. Like
Well, yeah, you're causing a commotion.
yeah,
You're
like
causing
everyone's like looking at us like, what the fuck was
Oh,
that
was
noise?
it a belt? Was it a belt that was like
I don't
screeching?
know. I really don't know, but
Ah,
we were like, all right, good night, rest in peace, Liberty. It's over.
dude. Okay,
And
my
we've just had the
grandpa.
same Jeep Patriot ever since.
Oh, it hasn't made that noise.
No, we have a new Jeep Patriot.
Oh, you guys got the same car again?
We had a Jeep Liberty, and then we got a
Okay.
Jeep Patriot.
Sorry, my bad. Okay, I'm
Homegirl,
sorry. I'm working. I'm
Jeep is a
trying.
brand.
I know. Oh, okay. So my grandpa had this Volvo. I don't know if you know about Volvos, but my grandpa. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little rundown of this car. Okay,
I don't know if you know about Volvos.
but they are
I'm
old.
gay, not stupid. I know cars.
Okay, good. I don't. I just know the ones that I happen to have grown up with. And one of them happens to be an old Volvo. And that old
Okay.
Volvo was like rough. It was
Mm.
rough. It was not like the interior was falling apart. The
Love
leather
it.
seats, like the seams were ripping. The the little ceiling thing, the fabric, how it can like fall down.
Yeah.
It was literally, it would fall down and like particles would fall into my eye. Like it was rough. And it smelled a lot like weed all the time because my grandpa, he was a big smoker and is a big smoker. He's
Little
not
bit of a
dead.
pop head.
He's a bit of a pothead. He went to the Vietnam War. He's allowed to have weed.
All right, respect to him. You have all the weed you want, man.
Respect the troops.
I am
So-
respecting the troops. Look at my poppy.
Yeah, actually, I don't really respect the troops, but
I respect the Canadian
I
troops.
I respect when they have trauma, but I don't respect the system itself. I respect the people that are the troops, but I do not respect
Same.
the system in which they function in. Anyway, my grandpa has PTSD, so he smokes a lot of weed. Understandable. It always smells like
Have
weed
a
in his
nice
car.
day.
Yeah. So here, just to picture this. It's a gray Jeep. The paint is chipping on the outside. It's got like, it smells like weed all the time. And it is the loudest motherfucker you've ever heard. The belt is always screeching.
Oh, no.
So my grandpa, as a teenager, the dumbest shit is embarrassing. I swear. Like
Yes.
like nowadays, if my grandpa pulled up with his beater ass Volvo, I'd be like, "That's Pog." Like hell yeah, love it.
No, you're right. It is like the littlest things get you when you're
It's
younger.
so stupid, dude. And I remember
Yeah.
being like, I would think it was funny because I've always had a sense of humor, but I'd also be embarrassed. Like it was me
You're
playing
like
it off,
smiling out the out. Yeah, you're smiling on the outside, and then you're like "Ugh."
crying on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be always dreading when he would come pull up with his Volvo because it'd be screeching, so it would get
'Cause
the
you could
whole
hear it
school's
coming.
attention. And then I could hear it from down the road. And I would know that my grandpa was coming to pick me up because I'd hear him down the road, the screeching of his belts
Oh
in his
no.
Volvo. Unfortunately, he did get rid of his Volvo, which
Unfortunately, that feels like a good thing given that.
No, I thought it was initially, but now I miss it. Now I miss
Yeah,
the
but
Volvo.
like it's life expectancy.
Oh my god. Here's the thing about Volvos too. My grandpa had this whole spiel. He was like, "It's the safest car in the world. It's the best car. It's like riding in an airplane." And it was because it was literally like a piece of metal flying. And and it was loud as fuck. So yeah, maybe it was like an airplane.
Yeah,
It
if you're
wasn't-
sitting right next to the engine.
Yes, exactly. So he would be like, "It's an airplane," and I was always like, "Okay, sure. This like old ass 90s car is the safest car in the world. Sure, Grandpa. I really do believe that. But I never really argued with it because I thought at least there was some legitimacy to it. But I found out recently that Volvos are actually the reason why they were labeled the most safe car in the world is because the car itself won't get damaged.
Yeah.
The person will. Here's
Yeah.
how it would work. They have these steel frames. And that was their big claim to fame is that they have these steel frames that on impact will not break. Here's the
you
thing.
will go flying.
Yes. Here's the thing about physics is the energy has to go somewhere. So whoever is in the car is the one who gets hit with the force, not the car itself. So the car's force gets transferred to whoever's in the car. People would die more often in Volvos, but the Volvo itself would stay intact because they would take the brunt of force.
Yeah, because that's why a lot of cars have been built for the crumple in the front, is because there needs to be something that dampens the impact. Yeah,
exactly. So turns out I was in a death box, and my grandpa was convincing me that I was safe.
No, you both were in a death box. One was oblivious,
and the other was also oblivious, but should have not been oblivious. You know, like
yeah.
Moral of the story, I love Volvos. They look great, but they are a death box. Don't get a car with a steel frame. It's not going to save you. It's going to kill you.
Moral of the story, just don't get a vehicle that sounds like the death. Sounds like what death is.
Like I'm trying to recreate the sound that my grandpa's car made, but I can't.
That's close to the sound of what it was like with the Jeep.
I think he must have... It must have been a belt, dude.
It must have
been
yeah.
a belt.
I just didn't know the situation because all I knew was that it screamed its whole way back.
You know, for someone who doesn't drive, I actually know a decent amount of cars stuff.
There's got to be at least one person out there that does car work and doesn't drive.
See, this is why I wish we had better infrastructure so I could just take a subway or a train or a bus, but instead I have to
Transit is sucky though. It's got you win some, you lose some.
That's true.
There was a video, a TikTok from like my city's transit.
Okay.
Well, we don't call it a subway. We call it transit out here. But from our transit, where literally I see this like stream of water come down. It's not water. It's piss.
What? Wait. Pause. What? You need to explain your surroundings.
It was on. It was on one of. It was a TikTok I found.
It was
of my. Yeah, it was a TikTok that I found of my transit system.
Right. Okay.
Someone who lives here recording a trail of piss going down this fucking car.
Ew, why? Oh my god. Yeah. Here's the thing though. I think that the reason why it's so disgusting in public transit is because there isn't enough funding to keep that stuff like nice and working.
No.
I think that if we had I'm gonna go on my political spiel.
Oh, we're going political.
If we had better public transportation, we would have a more functioning society, guys. Come on.
True. We're pretty good out here, because we're Canada.
It's ass. It's ass out here.
It's still ass here sometimes. It depends on the area. Marlboro is a little bit more scarier than no, downtown's still scary.
We barely have a bus system. Like the bus system holds on by a thread. Like barely.
We've recently gotten a really updated bus system, but from what I've heard from people, they're like the bus system still sucks.
Yeah, bus systems in general suck because you're dealing with a mass amount of people trying to get from one place to another.
You're dealing with a mass amount of people and a person who's literally playing God with your fucking day.
Yes, that too.
Because you get the one wrong bus driver who's not willing to stop when you're running at
that is so
a full sprint, and this person's like, no.
You do have to give some of the power away, but I don't know. I think it's worth it if it means I don't have to drive a death machine around.
That's fair. I want to learn to drive just to be a helpful
That's where I'm
person
at
in the
too.
house. I want to be able to drive places.
Well, me and Kai just had a conversation because Kai's the one who drives me everywhere because he can drive and he's a good driver.
Mhm.
We were just talking about how I want to get a license because I want to be able to go to Taco Bell in the middle of the night when we're both having like a hankering for Taco Bell. That's
You
my
see,
biggest.
that was my biggest one as well. I want to be able to go to McDonald's in the evening when nobody wants to drive me.
Exactly. I want to go on like the late night rat
Yeah, me and
excursion.
my sister were like, we know why we're getting this, right? This fucking piece of plastic. That's so we can go to McDonald's.
Exactly.
It also would just feel nice to be able to, like, if my mom's not feeling up to picking up my dad from work, I can go up, type
Yeah.
beat.
Bless. I don't want to be helpful. I just want to be able to do things that I want to do more
That's
easily.
fair. Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. I do want to be helpful, but it doesn't. Nothing motivates
another
me
thing.
like my own selfish needs.
I I do a lot of running around when it's like really nice out, like when it's bike season. So I bike over and do errands, like
So
picking
fucked
up
up.
groceries and stuff.
I'm so jealous of you. We live in Hawaii is so rural. You have to drive like 20 minutes to get to another town. 20
Yeah.
minutes? It's like 15 minutes to the next town. A drive. You can't bike nowhere. There's no biking anywhere. If you
It's like
bike,
a
you buy
20-minute
a car.
bike. It's like a 15-minute,
The
20-minute bike to get to
infrastructure
Walmart.
is so anti-bike that it's like if you're on bike, it's dangerous.
Yeah, you could get
Really
killed
that.
here from riding your bike because people don't give a fuck. They're like, bikes aren't allowed here. We don't have bike lanes. We don't got none of that. None of that.
Yeah, I just bike because I can and I don't feel like walking.
Valid. I mean, I love biking when I got
Yeah.
the chance to. When I stayed in Florida, actually, with my family,
Biking is so handy.
we would bike around, and I was like, "This is epic. I love this. Biking around is the shit."
Okay, but anyone who bikes on the road is a douchebag, and I'm going to
Okay, yeah.
stand by that. You're a
Okay, but what about?
douchebag. There are so many bike lanes. Get off the road.
Oh, yeah. If you see here, we don't have any bike lanes, so it's kind of inevitable.
Well,
How
my
do you
thing is like there's
feel?
a sidewalk and a bike lane.
I
Okay.
was gonna say, how do you feel about people biking on the sidewalk? Because I
I
think
feel
that's
like that
hilarious.
I do it a lot because it's my last resort.
Yeah.
I have to do it a lot because some spots don't have a bike lane, or out here, especially in like the more like suburban areas, people will park in the bike lane.
Wow. Nice
So
job, guys. Really beautiful job.
so
Society isn't collapsing, okay? It's thriving when people are
I
parking
never
in.
feel safe because I'm either like really extended or I'm in the sidewalk.
Yeah, that sucks, but at least you have the ability to bike around. That's epic.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's really handy. Except for
I
the fact that I fear that my bike is gonna get stolen every 2 seconds.
Oh, that's not fun.
I always have to like wrap my whole bike in my bike lock and then wrap it around the pole because
Have
there
you
was like a time where they would steal wheels.
That's funny to me. You come out of like
There's like one
7-Eleven.
wheel missing. God, I
You're
gotta
like,
walk
"Fuck
this
no."
home.
Yeah, you gotta walk the one-wheel bike home. That's epic.
I just leave the bike. I give up. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
It's
No,
not
I
even
would
worth
take
it.
it home. I'd buy a new wheel.
Yeah, it'd be like that. I was gonna say something and I forgot.
Something about bikes. I'm gonna assume.
Nah. Oh, I was
Nah.
gonna ask. I was gonna ask if you skateboarded at all.
I stepped on a skateboard once, fell over on my ass, so no. But I want to learn.
What? Okay, when you come, you're gonna try my skateboard. You'll put on I got all the gear. We'll put you in a little helmet.
Thank
And
you.
you'll try my skateboard because
I
it's so fun.
I never understood how to step on, like, I never understood how skateboards really worked when I was with one. So I just kind of stepped on it, and then it immediately, like, it just slipped right out under me. And
Uh,
I was like, death.
okay, yeah, you're supposed to have someone help you if
No,
it's your
I
first time getting
no,
on a
I just
skateboard.
stepped on it. They were like, you
I
can
mean,
try it. And I was like, oh, yeah.
damn, they trusted you a little too much
Well, it
there.
was a bunch of kids.
Yeah, I learned from a bunch of kids.
Okay, well, they had it out for me.
Yeah, they must have. They were like, he can fend for himself.
I was the oldest, to be fair.
Damn, that's cold. They're like,
They left me
you know
out there.
what? He's probably got it. Cut to you on the ground.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm never going on a skateboard again.
Oh,
I walked into my room. They're like, you okay? I'm like, I'm fine.
traumatized.
And I went upstairs and cried.
Oh, he's traumatized.
Because we moved around a lot, so we met a lot of new people, a lot of new neighbors, and
Yeah.
specifically in this, it was the box house. I remember it as the box house. We all remember it as the box house because it was just a giant box. We lived on the top floor, and then there was the downstairs neighbors, and they had like 3 kids, and they became like our close friends at that point because they were our neighbors and they were everywhere, and we would always be outside, they would always be outside.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, you gotta put up with them. So, and we basically became like their sub babysitters at that point.
Oh yeah.
They had a really dysfunctional family. Like,
It'd
my
be
mom
like
had to
that.
call the cops on the husband downstairs.
Damn, the tea.
Yeah.
I have so many stories, and Kai can attest. And I think I've told you some of my stories too, but I have so many stories of just like dysfunctional family chaos of like the friends that I had, the like,
Mm.
because my family, fun fact about me, my family they're musicians and they had like a band together. Me and my mom and my dad had a band together, and we would go for them to play shows all around the island. So I got to experience like uh
Weird indie music
not
experience.
indie, reggae slash hippie music,
Oh.
uh, because that's the kind of people my parents ran with. And yeah, here's a better translation. I got to know the people that were white who had dreadlocks. My parents
It's
were
quite the
those people.
experience.
I had parents that were both white with dreadlocks. Do with that what you will.
Yeah, take that information.
Just imagine the upbringing I had with that kind of shit. And we lived out in the boonies. We lived off grid.
Yeah, take
And
that information as you will.
I might as well have. I definitely have something wrong with me, like ADHD or something. So that I'm like this chaotic kid that would go around talking to all the other chaotic little hippie kids. Yeah.
Jesus.
I have so many stories of
You give
being.
me like, I've been watching a shit ton of Bob's Burgers, but you give me like Louise vibes.
Is she the one with the pink hat?
Yep.
Yeah, that's who she's one of my kins, I think. I think I kin her. I really
Louise.
do. I do kin her. She's like an agent of chaos that I strive to be.
I love Louise.
Me
She's my
too.
favorite.
She's the best. But yes, she like her hijinks, I have also gotten into some serious hijinks. Like, I don't know if I want to tell the whole story, but one time we chased a pedophile down the road and threw rocks at his house.
That is a lot. I think you
Um,
should unpack that in a different episode or off the pod.
I'll unpack that eventually, but yes, that's something I've done. Uh, yeah, we've just done a lot of stuff. Like when we went to one of my parents' gigs, this is a story I tell all the time. I told this on the pod? You'll have to tell me if I've told this already. But we
Okay.
went to a gig where my parents were playing music, and my parents were on stage. They were doing their thing, right?
Mhm.
And I was in a group of little boys that I was homies with, that our parents are friends, and I was homies with. They were the ones that taught me how to skate. So we would hang out with them. And it was me, my little sister, and like 6 little boys. And we would all hang out while my parents were doing their gig. this gig was sponsored by Monster, and they had this big bin of Monster that people were just taking it out of.
This
And
is stressful. I already know what's going on.
Here we are, a bunch of kids with free access to cans of Monster.
An energy drink.
Liquid caffeine, right?
Yeah.
That caffeine is liquid. Like,
great analogy. Do it
I know.
again.
Wow. Okay, never mind. Anyway, I was like, I'm gonna take one, and then we all were taking one, and then I drank like 3 of them.
Oh no.
And then we went. There was like a playground.
Meanwhile,
like
your heart is just vibrating.
Oh my god. We were like, we might as well have been vibrating. We were jumping off the walls. We went to this playground, and they had the little spinny thing that you can spin and be on. So we all were taking turns spinning each other as fast as we could on that, to the point where
hopped up on Monster.
Yes, some of the kids were throwing up. Others were like, eventually I crashed. Like, I remember laying on the playground turf, looking up at the night sky, and like being near about to throw up.
Oh my god.
Like,
that's
almost
so
threw
much.
Up. And then I found out that my dad got arrested that night because he had been smoking weed and the cops were there.
Oh my. Oh yeah, weed's illegal.
Yeah, weed's illegal, technically, here.
Head empty.
With the exception of medicinal cards.
Yeah. It's actually loosened up a lot these days.
That's really good.
These days, I don't think cops actually, will
It's been decriminalized. It's up to a certain amount, then you get fined.
Yeah.
And it's like
that's really good, though.
Grams or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the
amount.
amount.
Back then, that was a while ago. I was a kid, so it was still pretty yikesy to be, smoking weed out there. But yeah. It was a fun night. My dad got arrested. I almost died. It was epic.
Jesus.
Same night. Wait, same night.
Okay.
There was this really steep hill. We were still hopped up on Monster. There was this really steep hill that we sat on our little skateboards and were shooting down to the point where,
God.
if you wiped out, you would skin yourself for sure. You would get fucked because it was so steep.
You would lose a layer of skin.
Yes, you would definitely have road rash straight up. You would grind some of your skin down. It was so fun. I loved that. That whole night was pure chaos, and I loved it.
Sounds like it.
I have so many stories like that.
I think the only hijinks I can remember was the fact that we were fucking entrepreneurs by selling literal weeds, from the ground.
Yes, you told me about this.
Yeah, we managed to sell all of our inventory, which was just some random plastic potting pieces of shit, and then picking up all of the weeds from the front yard and putting it in there jankily, and then putting it on a table outside of our house. And we sold a couple to people, neighbors that were like, this is really funny. And then this pack of hippies went by. They came over and they're like, yo, you selling flowers? And we're like, yeah, we're selling flowers. Do you want one? And they're like, give us your whole stock.
Aw, they were sweet.
They were so sweet. They bought our whole stock and we were able to get a bunch of candy that night. We felt like fucking ballers.
I mean, that's that's entrepreneurship right there. I remember, this isn't when I was a kid. This is a teenager. I was in high school. It was the first time I started getting art commissions. And the first art commissions that I ever got, and this is funny to me, is from little middle school kids that looked up to me who would give me $10 for me to draw them something.
Yeah.
And one of them had me draw Bowser, and another one had me draw Rosalina. I was drawing Mario Brothers for kids for $10 a pop. And I just think I think it was so cute that that's how I started taking commissions, was from a bunch of kids.
That is adorable.
I was also a teenager, so I've been doing commissions a long time, I guess. Shit.
I've been doing I was doing requests before I did commissions. In elementary school, I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Do you want me to draw you?" I'd harass people.
Oh my god, you went to... Dude, that's kind of a flipping the script moment. Like, usually people are like,
Yeah.
"Can you draw me?" You're the motherfucker that's like, "I want to draw you."
Yeah, I'd be like, "Can I draw you?" Or I'd be like, "Can I draw you a character?"
Damn.
And
I
they'd be
was
like, "Sure."
pretty aware from the jump that I needed to make money off of my work. So,
Oh, I was just that. I was like, "I'm hot shit, and I know it."
oh my god, did I tell you the story of how I got into artwork?
How'd you get into artwork?
Okay, so I'm still friends with this person.
Oh
I-
God, I don't like that you prefaced that. I don't like how that's how you prefaced it. I'm still friends with this person.
So shout out to Kanani. I peace and love you. I don't even know if she watches this podcast. I'll tell her
If
that
she
I'll mention
does,
this.
that's adorable.
Basically, how I got into this whole artistic world is I chalk it up to being friends with her because she, when she first moved to my middle school, I had known of her before, but I wasn't friends with her myself.
Yeah.
Hawaii is a very small place. You end up knowing everybody, especially if you've gone to like the same public school. Public schools are big,
Mhm.
but you hear about people. It's a small town. So I knew of her before she moved to my school, but I didn't know her personally.
Yeah.
So it was a whole new experience when she moved to our school. It's exciting because we had a small school. So whenever anyone new showed up, it was a big thing. Like, oh,
It's the
someone
new
new.
person. Yeah.
Exactly. They haven't been subscribed to a clique yet, so people are all trying to get to know
Yeah.
them.
It's basically like finding their fucking house.
Yes,
Gotta get them into the right
exactly.
spot. You gotta campaign to have this person in your space.
Right. And some people are more, more groups may want someone than others. Like
Yeah.
some people have more popularity than others. Uh I was the kind of person that bounced between a bunch of groups, which had its problems, and I'm still that way. Anyway, she shows up and I'm so excited because I heard that she draws anime and I
Ew.
love anime. I was into Pokemon. I loved Sailor Moon. So I was like, this bitch draws anime? I didn't swear at the time. So that's just my imagination. I probably said, "This girl draws anime?" I was all excited. And then I met her, and I feel like I might have misremember this. If you're watching this, I don't know the exact details, but I remember just getting along like right away. And then she was like, "You want to see my drawings?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to see your motherfucking drawings." She shows me them, and I'm like, "I want to learn how to do this." I just remember thinking to
Teach me
myself,
your ways.
I will be better than this one day.
Damn. Okay.
Um, like I was so inspired. It was a wholesome moment, I promise. I was so inspired by like her creation that I was like, I want to be even better. This is so
Yeah.
inspiring to me. And at the time, I did not draw. I had a background in art because my mom would make me do artistic drills when I was younger. Because I was homeschooled for like a year. Does that surprise anyone that I was homeschooled at one
No.
point? I don't think so. Yeah.
I would be worried for people who are shocked.
I was homeschooled for a year, and in that year, my mom would like make me do artistic drills because she was a painter, and I think it was part of the Montessori curriculum to do art, which I think is cool. I think that was actually a really helpful thing that I had in my life because I still remember enjoying that the most out of any
Yeah.
work I did, and that's still applicable now. I don't like doing anything else but art, obviously, but I wasn't into it. And the moment that I thought, looking at her work, at my friend's work, I was like, I want to be better. I want to be I want to be something like this. I'm so inspired by this. So I started getting into it. I started drawing nonstop. I was like, I am hyper fixated on being an artist. That was
That's
my
amazing.
decision. And then this is where I learned how like competitive I can be.
Oh.
And how competitive in general other people can be too.
Yeah.
Especially in the art community.
It's spicy. I get competitive too.
So I start improving really quickly because I'm hyper fixating. I'm hyper focused on just being a good artist. Mind you, that being a good artist, flashback to remember the character Arigato? Need we forget that was the shit I was creating?
Yeah,
So,
let's just keep remembering this in the
yeah. So if you guys watched the redraw episode, yeah,
quick plug. Go watch that one.
yeah,
We
go
showed
watch
off
that
our
one.
old art and redrew it.
I know it's very good content, but that piece was around that time. I was in middle school,
Ooh.
and that's when I started really taking it seriously, and she was taking it really seriously. And so now there was this dynamic of both of us are taking this thing really seriously. We are both in middle school, and
It's
there's like,
anime.
and it's anime, and it's like a competition
Mm-hmm.
because socially there's more than one artist, which means socially we'll always be compared, right?
Yeah.
And so one day, I remember her coming to me, and this might be wrong. I don't know if you're watching this, but we should talk about this because I think it's so funny. Anyway, she comes to me and she's like, I think we should have an art competition. And I'm like, I can't say no to a competition. Here's the thing about me is if someone's like, here's this challenge, it would take a lot of self-control. Even if I know I couldn't do it, it takes a lot of self-control to say no for me. Like, I would have to actively be like, I can't do that. But
I can so see you joining if Webtoon did another contest, like the short story contest. You're like, I am in.
if they do that again, I probably will actually take part in that. The
I
last
will
time I
too.
couldn't, but this time I think I definitely would.
You
Anyway,
think I'm not gonna?
exactly. And see, we'll get into how my relationship with art affects me now, but basically, we get into this competition. We're like, okay, here's how it's gonna work. This is a terrible idea, by the way. Just overall, this was a bad idea. Someone's feelings were gonna get hurt, right?
I don't think any of the fucking stories that we've gone on in this like movie length episode have been good ideas.
So true. Actually, how long have we been going?
An hour and 42 minutes.
Holy shit!
Shit.
Okay, this is my last story. I'm sorry. Wow, we've been shooting this. This is crazy. This is like our longest episode.
We've just been going.
I'm sorry. Once I get talking, I can't stop. So I'm gonna finish this story off because we've been going for almost 2 hours. But we have our little drawings ready. We've been working on them for like a week, and all of our friends are the ones who are gonna judge the work.
Mhm.
If you think there wasn't like some biases there, you're wrong, obviously. But
Obviously.
we thought it was a good idea to have this competition. And I think another friend who wasn't as serious about drawing also joined, but I remember it was me and my friend who were like really like competitive. And we get into this little competition, and I just remember everyone voted, not everyone, but most of them voted for mine, and she got so upset. And I remember thinking to myself, oh, that's kind of shitty. I don't like that. I don't like when people cry, but I do like winning. And I remember thinking to myself, you know what? This is awesome. I'm a winner. And
Oh
that
my God.
that addiction never ended. So now, fast forward to I'm an adult,
Yeah.
and I'm surrounded by other artists who are talented as fuck and are probably better than me. Like, like I recognize.
Shut up.
No. I can recognize when I am weak in like certain artistic areas. It's not a negative thing. I'm not putting myself down. I actually get so inspired by like surrounding myself with having conversations like this and having our podcast and just like talking to people who are in the same field as me and are equally as into it and equally as committed is so inspiring to me. Like nothing inspires me more.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
Nothing inspires me more than competition, friendly competition, but competition with my peers who I respect because I think it is so healthy.
Yeah.
If you can find a good balance in knowing your strengths and knowing your weaknesses and knowing how those weaknesses and strengths look again like next to your friends' strengths and weaknesses and learning from them, nothing makes me happier. Nothing gives me that
At
kick
least we wrapped up with a good happy ending.
That's what I'm saying.
A good note.
Yes. So moral of this story, definitely accept every challenge that someone throws at you, and if you lose, you're a loser, but if you win, you're a winner. Isn't that crazy?
And don't fuck with girls who could definitely punch your teeth in.
Oh yeah, definitely don't piss off.
So
like
sometimes pick your battles.
Definitely, yeah. I guess that was a challenge that I definitely backed down from.
So pick your
Listen,
battles. Friendly
I guess-
competition is not bad.
But don't get into fights because it's not a good idea. You're gonna lose teeth. Where did we go?
We're gone. Oh,
Okay, we're back. That
the
took
world's
me
falling
out.
apart. We're going over. The 2-hour
Anyway.
mark kills our universe.
Okay, you know what? That was all I have to say.
Yeah, same.
What even was this episode? What did we even? I feel
don't
like
know.
there was a bunch of shit we were gonna actually talk about that we just didn't talk about.
Hey, but wasn't this episode like one of the most fun?
Yes, I think this was one of our best episodes yet.
The most casual, fun episode of just a podcast.
You guys better like this episode.
You
or I
better
swear.
like this episode. I had so much fun.
You better like it because more of our episodes are just gonna be us talking about our stories that we have in life.
So yeah, get fucking used to it.
Get used to it.
Okay, goodbye.
Also, wait,
Oh,
not
what?
goodbye.
What?
Compliment our new models. If you don't compliment
Yes.
them, you're a loser, okay?
Well, you're not.
You're irrelevant.
Sure.
I love you guys. Love you.
Peace
See you
and
next
love.
time. Peace and love.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I love assaulting their ears with the Price is Right music.
They deserve it. You know what? Ew, why is it getting all crunchy? Kai, why are you doing that? He's doing it on purpose.